Yo, fam, it's me, Sasha Denbright, and welcome to episode 16 of the 2024 season of You Call That Targeting. My gosh! Rival week is behind us. Championship week is coming up. It's the last week that we have a chance to score some points. Mike has a lot of scoring to do. My gosh, he's pretty much sucking pure balls. Anyways, we'll get into the points here in a second. But we are going to recap some of these games. We're not going to recap all of them because I don't want to waste your absolute time because we picked a lot of games. But Ole Miss wins. We all picked that one. What about Georgia Tech? 44-42, Georgia wins in 8 overtimes. My gosh. I mean, none of us saw that game coming. I knew Georgia Tech was an okay team. But at Georgia, I really thought Georgia would just blow their nipples back. And my goodness, it gave us a great game. What about Florida State? I can't believe Mike, idiot, picked Florida State. Florida takes care of business, 31-11. Florida, my goodness, they have a stud quarterback. They're going to be pretty good. Here's another shocker of a game. What about Michigan beating Ohio State? We all, on this show last week, we all talked about how terrible Michigan was and how that game was not even going to be close. And then look, they win 13-10. Nothing but pure garbage. Louisville blows out Kentucky. Earl picked that one right, excuse me. What are the games? Arizona State, they look dang good. We all picked them. They won 49-7. The Iron Bowl, sloppy game. I mean, if Auburn would have had any bit of offense, they could have played in that game. Alabama turned the ball. I mentioned in the podcast last week. I said something about Alabama turning the ball over 4 times, and well, they did it. They pretty much sucked pure nipples. Texas A&M. Texas wins that game. Me and Mike picked that one correct. And then the game of the week was actually the game of the week, right? South Carolina beats Clemson 17-14. Me and Mike picked that one. Let's get on to points. So I have 64 points. I got 8 of those picks right. Mike gained 9. Yeah, he had a big week. 9 points, but he's at 58. And Earl is at 55. He got 7 of those right. Coming into this week, this is the last week that Mike has a chance to try to one-up me. But it's looking like I'm gonna win that $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. Iowa got the dub against Nebraska. 13-10, so we put another $5 in the pot. We're up to $40 now, so that's awesome. But let's get on to give away. Let's give away some more. My gosh, maybe I'll be able to talk in the rest of the podcast. Nothing but pure garbage. Team of the week. I gotta give it to Michigan because I've been trashing on them all year. I've called them pure nipples. I've called them pure garbage. They have sucked. But to go on the road to beat a team that I, in my mind, thought was going to basically walk into the national championship just impressed me a lot. I had to give Michigan the team of the week. So congratulations. But let's talk some trash teams. Starting with Kent State. They did finish 0-12 this year. Nothing but a pure garbage team. I guarantee you I could go coach that team better. Nothing but pure garbage. Next trash team, Florida State. Finishes 2-10 with a loss to Florida. Nothing but pure garbage. Florida tried to plant the flag midfield, and Mike Norvell gets his stupid idiot self over there, and he throws the flag, and don't even shake hands with Billy Napier. What a garbage coach. What a garbage program. What a just garbage idiot school. Man, I hate Florida State. They can suck my pure nipples. My gosh. Next trash team, Kentucky. Me and Mike picked Kentucky because we were all there in the SEC. All this crap. Louisville beats them 41-14. Just blew their nipples completely through the back of their shoulders. My gosh, Kentucky sucks. And they want to be and somehow they beat Ole Miss. None of it makes sense. Next trash team, Arizona, because they lost to their rival Arizona State 49-7. I mean, at least show up in your rival game. Nothing but pure garbage. Next garbage team pretty much threw away their chance at a college football playoff. Miami loses to Syracuse 42-38, like a nothing but pure garbage. Idiot team. Next trash team, Purdue Boilermakers. They finished 1-11 this year, and they lost 66-0 against Indiana. Which, I mean, Indiana's good. They're a playoff team. I get it. I get losing. Oh my gosh! But Purdue sucks! Anyways, let's move on to our absolute trash team of the week. My absolute trash team of the week goes to the Ohio State Buckeyes. My gosh. I mean, everybody was saying that they're gonna get the rematch Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. Everybody was just taking it to the bank. And then they lose at home against a trash Michigan team. They've lost like the last 4 games against Michigan. Ryan Day, if they lose in this first round of the playoffs, Ryan Day could be fired. I mean, it's crazy to think about because they're good. They're good against everybody else. But when it comes to the big games, or when it comes to beat Michigan, Ohio State can't find a way to do it. And it don't matter. It don't matter if you go 11-0 every year. If you lose to your rival in the last game, you're probably going to get fired. Nothing but pure garbage. So congratulations, Ohio State, for being nothing but pure trash. But anyways, let's move on to questions. We only got just a few questions to answer this week. This one is from greatest stepson in the world, and he put in a parentheses, Sasha's stepson. My stepson's nothing but pure garbage. Anyways, let's hear what he has to say. He says, hope Notre Dame enjoyed their cupcake season playing garbage schools. They will get their nipples ripped off in the playoffs. Matter of fact, if ND wins the Natty, I will get a tattoo of the letter N on my left butt cheek and D on my right. I'm just so confident. Well, if you're so confident, I can't wait to see you with an ND tattooed on your cheeks because it's going to happen. My gosh, we are, like right now it's projected. If the season were to end now, Notre Dame would play Alabama first round. Well, guess what? We'd blow their nipples completely off. Wouldn't even be close. And then we would go play SMU in the next round. Guess what? We win that game by 5 touchdowns. And just like that, boom, we're right there at it. We're just a couple wins away from winning the Natty. So, we're one of the hottest teams right now. We lost that game against Northern Illinois, and I'm tired of hearing about it. Because here's the thing, we've won 10 games in a row. And we got some of the best running backs. We got a good quarterback. We got a great defense. I'm telling you, we are going to be dangerous in these playoffs, and I hope all you guys are ready for it. And it's a done deal right now. We are in the playoff. It's just a matter of who we're going to have to play, and it really don't matter because we're absolutely going to obliterate their idiot selves when we play them. So, anyways, my stepson's nothing but pure garbage. Next question, or the last question here is from Peter Tugger. It says, I love how the 12-team playoff didn't fix a burger flipping thing. The fact that Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Miami even have a chance makes my nipples red hot. Psh, what a garbage. Look, here's the thing. If you're going to have 12 teams, there's always going to be arguing. If you got 16 teams, there's going to be arguing. If you did 25, there's going to be arguing. That's just the way it's always going to work. As long as you got committees and people picking these teams, that's the way it's going to work. It's always going to be nothing but pure garbage. There's always going to be some teams that get left out. There's always going to be teams that's overranked, like SMU, for example, like Miami was for most of the year. My gosh. And yeah, it does suck that we have to talk about a 3-loss Bama team still making the playoff. or the fact that South Carolina is really the better team out of Alabama and Ole Miss, but they don't get the credit because they lost the head-to-head to both of those teams. I thought we're supposed to pick the best teams at the end of the season. And then here we are ranking Ole Miss and Alabama above South Carolina. Makes no garbage sense because, I mean, right now, if they played today, who do you think would be favored? I mean, I think South Carolina's playing good football. So the playoff, there's always going to be problems. But at least we're arguing about who's the 11, who's the 12, instead of who's the top 4, right? So quit your complaining about the college football playoff and let it just work out the way it's going to work out. Probably with Notre Dame winning the national championship. Anyways, we do not have any NFL picking in this week. I don't even care about the NFL right now. We're right here at championship week in college football, and you think I'm going to give a crap about the NFL? My gosh, I don't care about the NFL. Let's get straight to our college football picks. And Earl Manier is not on location this week, along with Mike Rochburns. They are here in studio with me, so we're just going to make our picks in the studio. We're going to pick all of the conference championship games. So let's get to that crap. Starting with the Conference USA. Who gives a crap about this conference? My gosh, I didn't even know they had a championship game. Nothing but pure garbage. But it's Western Kentucky, and they're going to play at Jacksonville State. Give me Jacksonville State. What about you, Mike?
Well, since you're leading the points, and since the leader picks first, my strategy is to pick really the opposite of what you picked because I'm down a lot of points right now. So I need to make up some points, so I am going to pick Western Kentucky.
That's just garbage. It's garbage that you're doing that. It's kind of like on The Price is Right when somebody bids $1 and because they think everybody's over. That's nothing but pure garbage. That you're cheating is what it is.
Cheating? That's not cheating. I said it's a strategy. I mean, I need to make up some points on it.
Well, I think it's just garbage. Anyways, Earl, who do you pick?
I'll pick Jacksonville State really because they're at home, and I don't even care to really make up points. I mean, I'm in last place, and I mean, I said a few weeks ago I just don't want to finish last, but at this point I don't even care. So yeah, Jacksonville State.
All right, next game is the American Conference, and it is Tulane at Army. Tulane, if they wouldn't have lost to Memphis on Thanksgiving Day, they would have a chance for the college football playoff if they won this game. But they're nothing but pure garbage and lost to Memphis, so they're going at Army, and Army only has the one loss to Notre Dame. I'm going with Army in this one.
I really like Army, but again, I got to go with my strategy. I'm going to pick Tulane.
I mean, like you just said, we were talking about, Tulane could have made the playoff if they would have, beat Memphis. And I think Army, they might have an advantage because it'll probably be a cold game. Running the ball is going to be a little easier. But I just have a gut feeling Tulane's going to win this game.
All right, well, next game is the Mountain West Conference. The way I hear the experts talking about this game, or the way I hear the experts talking about this game, it's really comes down to this. If UNLV beats Boise State, UNLV is in the playoff, probably as the 12th seed. If Boise State beats UNLV, Boise State is not only in the playoff, they're going to get that bye. They're going to be like the 4 seed or whatever. It's just nothing but garbage. I don't like that about the playoff of how we're seeding them. But that's an argument for another time. I am going to pick Boise State because I think they have the best player in the nation. I'm so sick of hearing about Travis Hunter being the best. I think Ashton Genty is the best player. He could rush for 200 yards in this game. UNLV played them tough earlier in the year, and UNLV is ranked now. They're a 10-win team. But I think this will be a fun game to watch. But I will take Boise State.
Yeah, Ashton Genty he's incredible. He's one of the best running backs that I've seen in a long time. But I really think, and this isn't just really a strategy thing for me. I think UNLV is going to win this game because they played them so good last time, and I think I mean, they're going to come in, knowing that this is a spot for the playoff. I think they're going to absolutely play out of their minds, and I think they're going to stop or slow down Ashton Genty and win this game.
Yeah, Ashton Jelchi he's great, and I love the way he stands in the backfield, and he stands there kind of like, "Come at me, bro," Oh man, he's a great running back, and I'm looking forward to watching him. I think he rushes for 375 yards against UNLV, and I think Boise State wins, and I think they get that bye in the playoffs.
Next conference championship game is the MAC. I mean, who cares about the MAC? Nothing but pure garbage. It's Ohio versus Miami, Ohio. And I'll go with Miami, Ohio. I don't give a crap about either of these teams.
Well, if you're going to go with Miami, Ohio, that means I'm going with Ohio.
Yeah, I'll take Ohio with you, Mike.
Earl, I wish you would have turned the heat on a little earlier in the studio. My gosh, it's cold as a witch's titty in here. My feet are complete ice cubes. But anyways, we got a few more picks to make. Iowa State versus Arizona State. I think Arizona State's one of the hottest teams in the nation right now. But Iowa State, a 2-loss team. And the winner of this game is going to make it to the playoff. It don't matter who wins. But I do think Arizona State is going to win this game.
We talked about Ashton Genty, but what about Scattaboo, the running back for Arizona State? The guy's incredible. He runs with power. I do think, like you said, they're one of the hottest teams in the nation right now. And it pains me that I have to go against them to try to get points, but I got to pick Iowa State in this game.
You know what makes me mad, Mike, is that you're picking these games based off of your selfish wants. You're picking games to try to play the system to beat Sasha in the points because you want a $5 Dunkin' Donut gift card. I mean, what that shows how much you care about the fans. It's just garbage that you're pulling this strategy. I'm going to go with Arizona State because I think they're the better team, not because I'm trying to get points. It's just it's dumb, and the fans deserve more.
I mean, I'm sorry if it's going to make the fans mad. I mean, we're trying to win a contest. I mean, we're 3 guys in a contest. Guys are competitive. I mean, like, I want to win this thing.
Well, I just said it's garbage. I mean, just get over it. I mean, just like your garbage pick. That we didn't even talk about that. Mike picked Florida State to beat Florida, and that's just garbage. I mean, it's the worst pick of the year, and we didn't even really talk about it.
That's right, Earl. You're nothing but garbage. My gosh. I mean, to pick Florida State in that game, and you weren't even trying for points in that pick. You really thought that they were going to beat Florida.
I mean, I really did.
Nothing but garbage pick.
I mean, just because they were at home, they had a lot to play for. And I mean, I thought, I thought they would get it together for one game.
My gosh. I mean, it's the worst. Anyways, it's just, I don't even know what game are we even picking.
I think it was my turn to pick the Arizona State game. And I'll pick Arizona State.
My gosh, just losing all train of thought. Anyways, next conference championship game's the Sun Belt Conference. My gosh, nothing but pure trash, Sun Belt. And it is Marshall. Is that? Hold on. Yeah, Marshall at Louisiana. Nothing but pure garbage, both of these teams. Nothing but pure nipples. I'll go with Marshall.
I will pick Louisiana.
Of course you will, you cheater.
I'll go with Louisiana as well.
Next conference championship game is the ACC championship. It is Clemson versus SMU. This is the way I've heard experts talk about it. If SMU wins, they're going to get the bye. It's going to kick any chance of Clemson making the playoff. It's going to kick them out. And that is what's going to open the door for Alabama to make the playoff. Now, I've heard if Clemson wins this game, and it's a close game, and SMU looks good, there's a chance that they leave SMU in the playoff, and you have to add Clemson since they're the conference champion. So that puts 2 ACC teams in, and that would kick Alabama out of that last spot. That's what I've heard. I don't know about that. I think if SMU loses, they should be out. But that's a conversation for, we'll save that one for next week or whatever when we start talking about the playoff. But with all that being said, I think Clemson's going to win this game. I think SMU has played one decent team all year, and that was BYU, and they lost. So I think Clemson goes in there and beats them, and I think they beat them by like 10.
Well, I've been picking opposite of you because a lot of those games I feel like are toss-ups. This one here, I'm with you, though. I feel confident enough that I'm going to pick the same pick as you because I really think Clemson's going to win this game.
Just garbage picks from both of you. I mean, Clemson's looked terrible, and everybody wants to talk about, SMU hadn't beat anybody and blah, blah, blah. This is one of the top offenses in the nation. They're going to score a lot of points, and I just don't think Clemson has the offense that's going to be able to keep up with them. And if they had a really good defense, I would worry about SMU, but I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. They're averaging like 39 points a game. Give me SMU.
That might be the first time Earl has ever sounded like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to college football. That was actually well done, Earl. Next game is the SEC. It is Georgia versus Texas. Should be a good game. Rematch game. Georgia beat them the first time around. I don't think it's going to happen again. I think Texas has got everything clicking right now. I think Texas gets the job done in this game.
I'm going to pick Georgia. It's always hard to pick against Georgia, definitely in these big games like this. I think coaching matters, and I think Kirby Smart's going to have this team prepared and ready to win.
Carson Beck, first of all, is one of the ugliest guys I've ever seen in my life. But he drives a Lamborghini, and he's probably got a hot girlfriend just because he's a quarterback, makes money. Must be nice. Here I am. I'm single and can't find anybody, and I need a Lamborghini, but it's hard when you don't really make a lot of money and all that stuff, and I got things like alcohol and stuff like that I gotta buy, and it's priorities, right? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Texas Georgia game. Crap, I don't know. I mean, you got Georgia, who looks like world beaters one week, and then you got Carson Beck throwing 8 interceptions in a game and looks like garbage. And did I mention he's ugly? And then you got, Texas, who's, Quinn Ewers is great when he's great, but he's kind of been banged up and a little hurt. And then you got Arch Manning, the backup superhero quarterback that apparently is just as good, and I don't know. I'll pick Texas.
All right, and really for our game of the week, we had to go with Penn State versus Oregon. They're playing this game in Indianapolis. It don't matter who wins this game. They're both making the playoffs, of course. But can Oregon pull together the undefeated season and go in as a number 1 seed? I believe they do. Penn State just can't win the big games. James Franklin, or whatever the trash Penn State's coach name is, he's kind of like Brian Kelly, and he can't win big games. They always have good, decent teams. They always have teams that's right there, winning 10 games every year. But Penn State just can't win the big ones, and I really like what I'm seeing out of Oregon. I like their coach. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, and they got a couple of studs on that defensive line. I think they're going to get all over Penn State's quarterback. And, I think they win this game.
I think that's a good pick. I mean, I think Oregon is definitely a team that could be playing for the national championship this year. But I am going to go with Penn State. I think it's time that they show up and actually win one of these big games. So this is their chance, and I'm looking forward to watching this game.
Well, I'm going to go with Penn State. Really, this is why. I don't think Oregon's going to be able to just go 13-0. I mean, like, nobody else has been able to do it. And I feel like there's just better teams out there. I feel like there's, I don't know if Oregon's as good as everybody's saying. I mean, yeah, they beat Ohio State in a close game, and I'm just not completely sold on them. And to go 13-0, I don't know about that. I think Penn State's going to upset them. But I think it might be a good thing for Oregon. I think if they get upset, I think it fires them up, and maybe they play better in the playoffs. I definitely don't see Oregon getting through this thing without a loss. I mean, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'll pick Penn State.
I kind of see what you're saying, Earl. I mean, for Oregon to go undefeated will be huge. Definitely with a season like this year where it seems like just everybody's losing games they shouldn't. Somehow Oregon's been able to win all of them. And if they're sitting here at the end of the year and they are undefeated national champions, this could be one of the best college football teams we've ever seen. If that's the case, I don't think they do it. But hey, we'll see how they look against Penn State, and we'll see how all the playoffs shape up. Thank you guys for listening. Next week, or the next week, we will be talking about the Army-Navy game and maybe a little bit of the college football playoff. I don't know if I'm going to do those in separate episodes or not. We'll find out how it all works out. But looking forward to the championship week and seeing how the playoffs shape up. It's going to be exciting. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next week.